Good afternoon, class. Um, my name is Bamshele Samson. I remain the e-tutor for CSA 102. This is a follow-up from what we did in our last class. We are going to be discussing general overview of computer system 2. But before we go into that, I would like to let you know that the course code is still remain the same thing, the unit is still remain the same thing, the objective of the course still remain the same thing, then what is expected from the student to at least be able to grab at the end of this lecture is still the same thing. Then the learning outcome remains that the student should be able to understand the definition of the computer and be able to explain the data processing and at the same time be able to explain the data and information. And the student should be able to also identify data processing method as well. So when we say what is the classification of computer, that is when we are asked to classify computer, how do we do it? How do we go about it? So computer can be classified based on their 3 key parameters. One of the parameters is signal type, purpose, and capacity. So classification by signal. If we are asked to at least explain what we mean by classification by signal, then that will take us to a digital computer. So digital computer represents its variable in the form of digits. It counts the data in deals with whether representing numbers, letters, or other symbols are converted into binary form or inputs to the computer. That is why we always say that the language that the computer understands is 0 and 1. If you type in any letter, it will convert it. Either it types some symbols, it will have to convert it to 0 and 1 for it to be able to at least be able to understand it. So the data undergo a processing after which the binary digits are converted back to alphanumeric form for outputs for human being to be able to at least read and make use of it. Because of the fact that business applications like inventory control, invoicing, payroll deals with discrete value, they are beset processed with digital computers. As a result of this, digital computers are mostly used in commercial and business place. That is, the first categorization of a system or classification of system into signal type is digital computer. And for digital computer to be able to carry out processes, it has to convert whatever input, symbol or letter or alphanumeric into 0 and 1 for it to be able to, at least for human being, convert it to alphanumeric for human being to be able to read and make use of it. So in a concept, a digital computer is an electronic device capable of processing and storing data using binary digits, which is bits, represent zeros and 1. It also performs calculation, execution instructions, and solve problems based on a predetermined set of rules known as a program. Digital computers are the most common type of computers used today and can be found in various forms, such as personal computer, laptop, phone, workstations, in any form, in as much such digital can at least process data or information, and for it to be able to do it, it has to, and in representing its data, it has to use binary digits to do that, which is 0 and 1. So that takes us to the next classification, which is analog computing. So if we are asked, what do we understand by analog when we say analog computer? How do we measure, or how do we classify an analog a system that's analog? So it's measure rather, analog computer measures rather than counts. That is, analog computer can only carry out measuring rather than counts. The type of computer sets up a model of a system. Common type represents its variable in terms of electrical voltage and sets up circuit analog to the equation connecting to variables. The answer can be either by using a voltmeter to read the value of a variable required, or by feeding the voltage into a plotting device. They hold data in the form of physical variables rather than numeric quantity. I think we understand what they are trying to tell us in that area. It's very, very direct and very simple. So, meaning that analog will only do what? Will only measure. And they have given you an example of voltmeter, whereby it will do what? It will read the physical what? The physical value of the variable required by feeding it, by feeding the voltage into a plotting device. And they always do what? They hold data in the form of physical variables rather than numerical quantity. So a simple definition for an analog computer is an analog computer is a type of computer that operate on common data and use physical quantities such as voltage, current, or resistance to represent and manipulate information. Unlike digital computer that process discrete value represented by what? By binary 0 and 1s. Analog computer work with continuous signals and perform calculation based on the laws of physics. So that takes us to hybrid. Even the word hybrid has already described what it actually is, because we all know that when we say hybrid, it's combination of two items or two objects, meaning that combination of both analog and what? And digital computer. So they said the explanation is saying that the user may wish to obtain the output from an analog computer as processed by a digital computer or vice versa. To achieve this, he set up a hybrid machine where the two are connected and the analog computer may be regarded as peripheral of the digital computer. In such a situation, a hybrid system attempts to gain advantage of both the digital and the analog, because the two systems cannot be embedded into one system. It needs a conversion element which accepts analog inputs and output digital, vice versa, output digital value, vice versa. Such converters are called digitizer. There is a need for a converter from analog to digital also. It has the advantage of giving real response on continuous. So, in short, for us to be able to now say yes, how can we now define an hybrid system? A hybrid computer is a type of computer system that combine the features and capability of both digital and analog computer. It incorporates both the digital and analog components to leverage the strength of each type of computation, allowing for a broader range of applications and more efficient solving. More efficient problem solving. So, special purpose computer. What do we understand by it when we say special purpose? How do we describe a special purpose machine? A special purpose computer is one that is designed to solve a restricted class of problems, such as computer. I mentioned it, probably I mentioned it in the previous class, may even be designed and built in to handle only one job. That was where I mentioned maybe aviation system, aviation management system device or application. So such special purpose computer is probably designed to carry out a single job or a single task or a single operation. In such machine, the steps or operations that the computer follow may be built into hardware. Most of the computers used for military purpose fall into this class, same as aviation. Other examples of special purpose computer include computer designed specifically to solve navigation problem. You can see. So I'm still very much in line. Computer designed for tracking airplane or missiles, just like what is Iron Dome that this Israel is proud of. They are type of special purpose computer. It is designed to intercept a missile fired by enemy, either long range or short range missile. That Iron Dome is designed for such purpose. So Iron Dome fall under special purpose computer. Computer used for process control application in the industry, such as oil refinery, chemical factory. You see, that is, there are certain system of special purpose computer that is designed, that is used in oil, in refineries and chemical manufacturing company. So we now have the general attribute of special purpose computer. If you say the attribute of special purpose computer. Special purpose computer are usually very, very efficient for tasks for which they are specialized, designed for. They are very much less complex than the general purpose computer. The simplicity of the system provide for limited facilities. They are very much cheaper than the general purpose type, since they involve less components and are less complex. So you can see what they are trying to let us know, that special purpose can be even cheaper, despite the fact they are used in a very high sensitive environment. They can still even be very cheaper compared to general purpose computer. Now, general purpose computer are computer designed to undo. Computer designed to undo wide range of problems. Theoretically, or general purpose computer can be adequate by means of some easily alterable instruction to handle any problems that can be solved by computation. In practice, however, there are limitations imposed by memory size, speed, and the type of input and output devices. Example of area where the general purpose are employed include the following: payroll, banking, billing, sales, cost accounting, manufacturing, scheduling, inventory, schools, hospital, educational sector, and many other sectors. So special general purpose computers are used in all those areas. And the essential attribute of general purpose computers are more flexible than special purpose because it can be altered to carry out different tasks. So that is why they are more flexible. They are not rigid. That is, they are not rigid for a particular operation. They can do numerous and several operations. So they can handle a wide spectrum of problems. They are less efficient than the special purpose computer due to such problems as inadequate storage, low operating speed, coordination of the various tasks, and subsection may take time. General purpose computers are more complex than special purpose, you see. So their performance is affected by speed. It's also affected by memory size, and it's also affected by type of data in which the general purpose computer wants to be used to process. So that takes us to classification by capacity. We have discussed classification by signal. You understand what I'm saying? Then, so now we are discussing it by capacity. If you are to discuss computer by capacity, that takes us to the volume of the work that a given computer handles is closely tied to the cost and to the memory size of that computer. Therefore, most authorities today accept price of rental price as the standard for ranking computers. Here, both memory size, cost shall be used to rank classify computer into three main categories. Now, that is for the purpose of understanding this particular course, we are going to limit our ranking to by considering the memory size and the cost of those items. So one of it is microcomputer, medium, mini, small computer, and the large computer mainframe. So microcomputer, also known as single board computer, are the cheapest class of computer in the microcomputer. We do not have a central processing unit as we have in the larger computer. Rather, we have a microprocessor chip as the main data processing unit. They are the cheapest, smallest, and can operate under normal office conditions. Examples are IBM, Apple, Compaq, and then HP, computer, Dell, Toshiba. What are the different type of personal computer which is micro available? Yes, we have laptop, we have notebook, we have palm top, we have desktop. So those are the ones that are there. Then that's a mini computer. The mini computer have memory capacity. Are we there? The mini guys have memory capacity of the order of 4 kilobytes, and they are very expensive. They can execute up to 100 minutes per second. Meanwhile, they have larger systems and are used by many people for a variety of purposes. So I think we can now understand what they are trying to say here. So that's just it. It is very simple that we do not need to stress ourselves if we are to explain all these things and how to classify a system. So this takes us to the summary of this particular section. In this section, we have learned that development of computer span through fourth, sixth generations. We have also learned that development of computers span through fifth and sixth generation. Then characteristics of computer and their specification have also been discussed in the unit 2 of this section. So with this, I think we will be able to at least see some terms that we have mentioned in this course, and those terms we will be able to keep them at our left palm so that we won't be able to forget, like hybrid computer, which I said that hybrid computer is a type of computer system that combine the features and capability of both digital and analog computer. We also talk about analog computer. Analog computer is the type that operate on a continuous data and use physical quantities such as voltage, current, resistance to represent and manipulate information. We also talk about digital computer. A digital computer is an electronic device capable of processing and storing data using binary digits, which is 0 and 1. Then information, we talked about it, referred to as processed data or meaningful statement, e.g. net payroll, examination result of student, list of successful candidates in an examination or interview. Then we also mentioned data. The term data is referred to facts about a person, object, or place, e.g. name, age, complexion, school, class, and height. So those terms. I'm not expecting any of you to have forgotten it. So there's going to be an exercise whereby I'm going to at least put it across to you in your elements so that you people can go over it and be able to at least respond to it. So it's just 4 questions like that. So it's expected that you people should work with it.